Opponent?
What do we do?
He's got the two phones, man.
First
Famous.
15.
Painful.
Mac, how tough is it to have Mike Giardi come in and ruin your?
It's all good. It happens.
How good do you guys feel as a team? You know, taking a quick breather here before you resume your big schedule.
Yeah, I think that's where our mind is right now. Is just getting ready for our next game and evaluating the past, but not looking too much into it, and then not worrying about the future and just being where our feet are. And the older guys, I think, have a great message. Is just don't let anything in the bye week ruin something in the future. So just go get your rest, enjoy your family, and stay safe. So I think that's what we're going to do, and that's all you can ask for.
Mac, you were really complimentary of the offensive line after the game the other night, but when you go back and watch the film of the game, how much more impressed were you by watching them from that view?
I think, when you watch the film, you just appreciate what those guys do and how we won the game, and that's the most important thing, regardless of how you do it, whether you throw it, run it, whatever the situation is. They did their part, and someone that I did leave out is Yak. I think he deserves a lot of credit too, just the way he stuck his nose in there, and Big Mike too for coming in as the jumbo guy along with the 5 offensive linemen. So obviously the running backs and receivers did their thing, but everyone that was involved in the blocking deserves credit. But we are ready to move on from that game, and it was an interesting experience, but we have to continue to move forward, and we've turned the page on that game, which is great.
Along those same lines, how helpful is it to have a guy like Mike who isn't in the starting 5 but can come in and make a big impact like that?
Yeah, I think it just goes back to playing your role, and he's played a lot of football in different spots, and the 5 guys we have up there are great, and any way we can improve the blocking schemes in a game like that was great, and I think it just shows that we have a bunch of guys who care for one another, and we're not worried about who's in what position or who scores or who does this and that. We just want to go out there and put a good piece together and have a productive play.
Mac, 13 games in now, with the bye week being here, the latest it's ever been. For you, what is it? Is it the mental thing, the physical? What is this week all about for you?
I think it's just finding out what you can improve on, and the last part of the season is the most important part, and nothing that you did before that matters. And the bye week's important just as a self-evaluation for what you can do as a player, as an offense, and obviously taking coaching and figuring out ways to improve, and that's all you can ask for, whether it be your mechanical thing or what we can do schematically or whatever, and then go out there and do it for the remainder of the season, but not change anything too crazy. You can't reinvent the wheel. You do what you do, and you just try to improve on the things that you didn't do as well.
You've had a pretty hectic 18 months or so between being the quarterback at Alabama, winning the title, then getting ready for pro days and all that stuff, to now jumping right in and being the quarterback of this team. How do you feel both physically and mentally at this point, considering you've kind of been on the treadmill for a little while here running?
Yeah, I think it's been awesome. There's been ups and downs along the whole deal, and it's very fast-paced and all, but I think it's just being consistent is the most important part, and everyone's going through it. It's not just me. We have other rookies, and we have other guys who are older or whatever their situation may be, where they know how to grind it out, and I'm just trying to do the same thing because I enjoy it, and it is fun to come in every day. And sometimes you have good days and bad days, but you just got to keep pushing towards the final goal.
Mac, what have you done, since the start of the season to bring your turnover rate down? Throwing fewer picks and obviously holding the ball a little bit tighter.
I think just playing within the offense, understanding how to win games and what teams do bad, and exposing that. And I've learned, obviously been taught my whole football life, is when you don't turn the ball over, good things happen. And the more you can do that and the more you can play within your offensive scheme, the better. So I can continue to do a good job there. And, we've just been doing a better job with it. And everyone has, with the fumbles, and interceptions are my fault for the most part, obviously, because you can't throw it to the other team. So it's an area to improve on. But you also can't be, gun shy or anything like that. You just got to go out there and try and throw it to the right guy.
I thought you were going to answer him by saying, just don't throw the ball. If you were to ask most people, like, who are the greatest coaches in the game, like some would say Nick in college and Bill in the pros, starting at quarterback for both of those coaches, how would you describe what that's like?
Yeah, I think I've been asked this question a million times, but I think they are very similar in that, they demand everything to be perfect and they know what it takes to win. And I have been blessed to play for great coaches and been a part of great teams, and I think we have a really good team here with great chemistry and not only a great head coach but great assistant coaches too. And he does a great job of explaining how to win, and that's what a lot of great coaches do is you understand what it takes and you have to execute it and go out there and do it, and that's your job as the player. So.
Mac, is there anything beyond the obvious that you can point to that maybe improve the red zone offense a little bit here out of the bye week?
Yeah, I think just each week there's a new plan, and we just have to go out there and do it better. It's not like I said earlier, you can't just reinvent the wheel and create these new plays. It just comes down to execution and a mindset that, hey, we're going to score here instead of kick a field goal, and we can do a better job of that. Obviously, the statistics say that, and when you watch, you want to put up 6 points instead of 3, but if we can get 3, and that's also good versus maybe turning the ball over. So I think scoring is important, and then getting up to that 70% mark where the really good teams are at in the red zone, around 74% or whatever. That's where we want to be.
Mac, you do get some downtime this weekend. What's the one thing that you maybe welcome the most about this weekend?
I think just like I said, reviewing the film and things that we can do better, and then just getting away a little bit, taking the advice from the older people on our team, but also realizing that we have a big game coming up against Indy, and they're a great team with the similar situation that we're in. They may not have started super fast like we did, but they've been playing really well down the stretch, and they're well coached, and they have great players. So we have to be ready to go with that in mind and having a big picture view there.
So like big steak dinner or, a nice romantic dinner, a nice night or something, or no?
Yeah. That's personal. No, you're good. I think a lot of people are just going to enjoy their families, and I will too.
Are you sitting in front of a TV on Sunday afternoon with football on?
Yeah, I usually, enjoy just, like I said, hanging out with my family and being a normal person like everybody else and watching whatever you want to watch. So, yeah.
Is it hard to watch football with commercials and not cut up? And is it strange for you to watch football that way now?
Not really. Football's football, and some people like it, and sports are great to watch on TV. So, I think it's great to watch it however you can.
You just said be a normal person. Have you realized yet that you're not a normal person? You're the quarterback of the Patriots. Have you had any experiences that have opened your eyes in that way at all?
I don't think so. We're all people, and everyone, has a different purpose, and I think we're all blessed to be where we are. When you're an NFL player, you realize what impact you can have on other people, and also just understanding that it's a job. So you have to enjoy it, but it comes down to winning games, and that's what makes it fun, is winning games. And when you do that, it's a lot more fun.
It's going to be hard to pull away from football for a little bit?
What'd you say?
It's going to be hard to pull away from football.
I don't think so. I think, football season is a long season, and 1 week you just have to, like I said, focus on, getting away, but at the same time, realize what's in mind, realize the goals we have, and a lot of that's just being where your feet are and staying present. So get the body recovered, take the time off, but have the big picture view of what we want to do.
Hey, Mac, before you came in, Lawrence Guy gave way to Matthew Slater, and he was joking about the word association. He said, here's the even older guy. And then someone asked Matthew about you, and he said, special kid. One, how does that make you feel when it comes from him? And number two, when you reference the older players and learning from the veteran players, taking their advice, what do you say about the leaders of this team, like Matthew, Devin McCourty, and the influence that those guys have had on you?
Yeah, I think they're all great guys, and just to be in the room with them, a guy like Matt, who's seen a lot of different, not only football schemes, teams in different years. He just has great knowledge about leadership, and he's one of the best public speakers I've ever been around. So just taking notes there, and obviously he backs up everything he says with his work ethic and the type of person he is. So he's a model, Patriot, and someone that I look up to, and a lot of guys on our team do that are younger players and even the older guys. So I'm really blessed to have those. You think of the main guys that are older, but they have a lot of knowledge and experience that I like to learn from, and hopefully I can become like them one day. And they mean a lot to me, and they mean a lot to a lot of people around this organization.
Cleats you were wearing,
Mhm.
was that Boston Children's Hospital?
Yes.
Can you explain why you picked that?
Yeah, I think I thought it was really cool. I mean, obviously in college we don't get a chance to do something like that, but just with everyone's, they have their own passions, their own things that they want to promote and all that, and it's all for a good cause. And I think for me, I'm new here to Boston, and I've been very passionate in the past about working with different organizations, and everyone has their own thing that they want to, show passion about. And I think for me, with Robbie, the kid that I was representing on my cleats, he obviously doesn't have a chance to play football, but he loves sports. He plays all sports, and I took a lot of that into the game with me, just being brave and trying to represent him and the people that may not be able to be out there. So, like I said, a lot of people have different things they want to do, and I think it's a great cause, and I think it does promote all sorts of things in a great way.
Did he say anything to you afterward? Did you have any contact afterward?
Yeah, actually, him and his mom and my girlfriend were talking, so that was cool to see. They were watching the game, and I saw a video of him watching the game and all that. And I know a lot of guys on our team, they were representing people or organizations, and everyone that was watching the game got to see that. So it was just really cool to see the results of that.
Take your final question? Is it?
Go ahead.
No, you already.
I was just gonna ask you, scuba suit?
In the last game?
Yeah.
No, I just had my normal dress on, and I've been listening to Brian's advice and all that, and you have to get what you have to get on and go out there and play. So you want to be warm, and like I said, it's a learning experience, but at the end of the day, none of that stuff matters. You just got to go out there and play what you're comfortable in.
Did it do the trick though?
Yeah. I think some guys go out there in no sleeves and this and that, and I think it's just a personal preference, and you want to stay warm as best you can. And like I said, it's going to be a learning experience, and there will be plenty more games like that. Awesome. Thanks.
I wasn't trying to get too personal, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Way to beat it. Get vaccinated.
So when it's your turn, roll up your sleeves.
And let's get to the finish line together.
When did Bud Light Seltzer start making lemonade? Probably when 2020 handed us all those lemons.
New Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade, packed with lemonade flavor after a lemon of a year.
Opponents? I've gone up against thousands.
And there's an opponent we're all up against, COVID-19.
But there's a way to beat it. Get vaccinated.
So when it's your turn, roll up your sleeves.
And let's get to the finish line together.
When did Bud Light Seltzer start making lemonade? Probably when 2020 handed us all those lemons.